That leaves us with our final bill of the evening, which is Representative DeRosas' bill. This would permit a voter who has moved from one city or town in the state to another 30 days or more prior to an election to vote a full ballot in the new city or town. Can we have John Marion, Randall Rose was in support, Steve Brown, and Bob Rapoza. Bob, whenever you're ready.
Chairman and members of the committee, thank you. This bill was introduced at the request of the Board of Elections. This bill, we do ask that have a change to the bill where if this bill would be upon passage, would take effect upon passage of the purchase of the electronic poll book statewide. This is the only way this bill will work. Currently, right, if you move from one city or town, you would go back to the previous town in which you came from, where you would vote a limited ballot. This legislation will allow someone that would move, per se, from Warwick to Cranston.
Can I interrupt and ask a question? What if you move rep districts? What if you stay within Burrillville, but move from Cale Keeble's rep district 47 to Brian Newberry's rep district 48?
Even today, what would happen is if you move 30 days or less prior to the election, you would go back and vote from the precinct in which you are a registered voter. Okay. If you are in the new precinct for more than 30 days in the same city and town, you would vote from your new precinct upon completing a affirmation form. This legislation will extend the opportunity to a voter if a voter moved from one city or town to another more than 30 days, that they would be able to go into the polling place in their new community, and as long as they are a registered Rhode Island voter, they would complete a voter registration form. The electronic poll book, when they arrive, would pull up that they are a registered voter in Warwick, but they are stating they've been in Cranston for more than 30 days. They would then be allowed to vote a ballot in the precinct in Cranston in which they are currently living. What this bill would do, in 2006, there were 111 voters that had to transport themselves from their community in which they are living today back to their previous community that they moved from, where they are a registered voter. And again, this bill could only pass with the implementation of the electronic poll book statewide.
Thank you. We would have to think about that effective date. Usually we wouldn't tie an effective date to something like a purchase, but maybe we could figure out when the purchase was going to happen and try to work around that.
Thank you.
Representative Marion. John Marion.
Thank you.
I guess I'm
waiting for my swearing-in ceremony. Hopefully that'll.
We're all waiting. John, we're all waiting for that.
So yeah. So I don't want to fill out the disclosure forms.
We all want to see your disclosure forms.
We support this. I think Bob did a good job of representing this. This affects a small number of voters, but for them it's significant. I think in 2016 it was maybe 67 voters or something.
111.
111. Okay, I thought the 100.
Well, we had 87
in the general election. Yeah. So it's not, there aren't a large number of voters, but it's significant for them, and they should get to vote in the community that they reside. So we support this.
Thank you. Any questions for John? Mr. Brown.
The ACLU also supports this legislation for the reasons you've heard.
Very good. Kathy Plancencia from the Providence Board of Canvassers signed up in support of this bill. Randall Rose was in support, as was Tom Burchard. The ACLU has submitted written testimony in support, And that will conclude testimony on House Bill 5706 by Representative DeRosas.